Doris, what are you going to be watching about these two teams who seem to be strong up front?
Yeah, I think certainly both have guys with size who also bring incredible skill to the game. And it's really hard to win this league without at least one elite player at one of the front court positions.
Let's check out Chicago's starting lineup. DeRozan out there with Kawhi Leonard. Then it's Harden. Then there's Jonas Valanciunas. And it's Curry in at the point guard position.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
DeRozan scanning the floor. Harden the pass to Valanciunas. And the dunk by Valanciunas.
I tell you, you allow Jonas Valanciunas space and he will throw it down. He's got the size and length to make it look easy.
White bounce pass. No good. Shot missing. Good D by Harden. Last outing for the Bulls, it was a loss to the Magic in Orlando. Wasted no time on that one.
Well, Kawhi Leonard meets the defender at the rim, and he comes out on top.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
I was able to talk to Kenny Atkinson for a minute. And, of course, he said the key tonight will be slowing down James Harden, who isn't just a great scorer, but a great playmaker as well. He can punish any defense that overcommits. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, David.
Who's got Curry?
Curry against Lowry. Now here's Curry, guarded closely.
Don't let him shoot that.
Here's Leonard, and Covington sends it back. And he gets it back. And that one's good. Leonard. Little over a minute 30 into this first quarter. Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Three-pointer Lowry nailed from three-point land.
Listen, this guy's so dangerous from beyond the arc. Kyle Lowry has always been a knockdown three-point shooter.
Bulls moving the ball around. Harden finds Curry. And Covington sends it back. Warren on the wing. A three ball. And Valanciunas pulls it down. The Bulls have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Harden has a wide open look. Had the space there, but it's offline.
Well, the defense flat out awful right there, and he couldn't punish them for their mistake.
He muscles it in through the contact, and they call the foul. And he's on his way to the free throw line.
You can see that T.J. Warren has no problem playing through contact or around multiple bodies. How about the power? Well, you think back to T.J. Warren and how good he has been for the last few years. And yet last season, he took a huge step forward by adding the three-pointer to his arsenal.
One shot.
That free throw good from Warren. And the way Warren improved his three-point shooting last year, Doris, was incredible.
No doubt, Kevin. This is a guy who went from below 25% the year before from distance to making over 40% of his range shots. He did all this while coming close to tripling his three-point attempts. What an improvement.
And here's Lowry after the three-pointer from Stephen Curry. Adebayo passes to Warren. Covington dishes to Warren. Nice D from DeRozan.
Well, we love his ability to attack the rim. He just loses a little bit of focus and misses the chippy.
Passes it to Curry. Outside Leonard. From outside off the mark. In transition, here come the Nets. Lowry leading the charge. Pass to Covington. Curry against Lowry. Trying to get open is Adebayo. And the basket by Lowry. Lowry's got his second bucket of the night.
Boy, Kevin, I thought he might get a call there. I thought it was pretty clear contact. But we know Lowry's not looking for the whistle. This guy's just looking to put points on the board.
Now here's Harden. He's coming off a 37-point game against the Magic in Orlando.
I love that he sacrificed his body over and over. His persistence in getting to the free throw line really paid off for them.
Here's White after the made shot from Jonas Valanciunas. Lowry's got 7 points. Chicago leading. Curry on the wing. Inside, Valanciunas. And it's Valanciunas finishing it off.
As great a scorer as he is, Steph Curry is a willing mover of the basketball. He doesn't get enough credit to me for playing the right way.
Now here's White. 20 points for him last game against Golden State.
It was never all about himself. He came away with a lot of assists in that game and just kind of kept everybody in the mix.
Here's Curry. The pass to Valanciunas. The 11-footer. Rebounded by the Nets.
What a masterful job on the defensive end. Did everything possible to alter that shot.
And the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Warren. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two. Greg, you talk about the quiet producers in the league. T.J. Warren is one of the first names that come to mind.
The last few seasons, Warren has come close to chipping in 20 points a game. Doesn't do anything flashy, but he just hits his shots and piles up the points on a nightly basis.
Shooting two.
And he can't get the first one. And this is what we've been waiting for all summer long, all off season long. After many months, Doris, basketball is finally back.
And what's incredible, Kevin, is the NBA's popularity just continues to grow. There's worldwide enthusiasm. The NBA players represent the league so well, and my goodness gracious, can they play some basketball?
Interesting how now the league, Doris, is commanding the calendar all year round. It used to be such a seasonal game. Now it's 365 days a year.
So many storylines throughout the course of the summer. Who's playing where and with whom?
And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play.
Shooting one.
And that sends Valanciunas to the free throw line. Kyle Lowry picks one up there. Chicago shooting their first free throw of the night.
Shooting one.
On the free throw, no good. And Coach Jim Boylan agreeing to a multi-year extension with the Bulls this summer, Greg.
And taking that interim tag off his title as head coach, Boylan, with over 30 years of coaching experience, afforded the opportunity to continue developing this young core.
Now, here's Warren. He's coming off a 22-point game against the Warriors in San Francisco. The Bulls have gone 7 of 13, just over 50% from the floor. Some good looks. And the basket by Curry. Curry's got 5 points so far.
Well, don't underestimate Curry because of his size. This guy does a great job absorbing contact and still finishing.
Lowry kicks to Covington. Now the dish to Warren. Back to Covington. 6 on the shot clock. That one's not going to go. Great D that time from Leonard. 11 feet away. Harden's shot is off. And so Lowry will bring it up for the Nets. It's a three-point game. Outside, White. Pass to Warren. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
Boy, what a nightmare quarter for this guy. He's playing right into the hands of the defense at this point.
DeRozan passes to Valanciunas. Now here's Leonard. White covering. Shot from free throw range. And Leonard gets it to go. 6 points for him.
This guy is putting his fingerprints all over the game in this quarter. He has flat out dominated the offensive end.
Lowry passes to Warren. White against Harden. White looking around. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
And probably more of a natural scorer than passer. White has worked hard on his playmaking ability.
For Brooklyn, they have gone 2 for 3 at the foul line in this game.
And talking about last season, this team hit just 74% of their free throws.
Take a break.
I'm sure
Take a break.
they were hoping
Two
for
shots.
better than that.
First one falls for him.
You have to remember, the Nets surrendered their draft pick every year for 5 straight years between the years 2014 to 2018. How they turned that into a playoff run last year, one of the great stories in the league.
Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. Robinson's checked in for Bam Adebayo. Christian Wood comes in for Robert Covington. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Kyle Lowry.
The athleticism and blinding speed White possesses is impressive. This guy plays with a lot of moxie.
And Doris, you're right. Those picks you're referring to, surrendered by the Nets in their 2013 trade with the Celtics.
And think about it, Kev. That transaction was one in a string of trades by the Nets, trading their picks for veterans. Well, multiple-time winner of the slam dunk contest, Levine has got a creative streak.
Outside, White. Passes to Robinson. Warren with the ball. Basket counts. Warren's got 6.
Well, defensively, to me, you've got to do a better job communicating once the screen comes.
Pass to Curry. Levine kicks to Paul. Shoots over White. And Chris Paul the bucket on the assist by Levine. And the Bulls lead by 8.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Schroeder finds Warren. Here's Wood. White left side. To get open is Robinson. White, good.
Yeah, attacking the interior is something White does well. He's crafty, and he makes good adjustments against the defense.
Drummond with it. Robinson picks him up. Drummond passes to Curry. Levine against Schroeder. And Drummond kicks to Curry. Misses the wing J.
And they've come out with a take-no-prisoners approach on the glass here tonight, guys.
Warren the pass to Schroeder. Outside, White. The pass to Warren. Lays it up off the glass. And now it's just a 4-point Bulls lead.
The way Warren controls his body is truly impressive. He's got the frame to absorb it.
Here's Aldridge. Trains it from 9 feet away.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Schroeder outside. White the pass to Schroeder. And it's sent back by Aldridge. It's Curry with the drive.
Wow, well done on the part of Steph Curry. Takes advantage of his momentum off the dribble drive and gets the elevation he needs to finish with authority.
It's Robinson high post. Poked loose and taken away by Paul. And now Paul pushing it up. No one back to stop him. Count it. And it's a 10-point Bulls lead.
And the defense looks soft early on. They've got to summon up a little more sense of urgency.
Poked away. Out of bounds. Next ball as Brooklyn keeps possession. Now that we have a chance, let's go to the 2K leaderboard and reveal last season's top shot blockers. You look at Robinson, second in the NBA, a great defender.
And shot blocking is the element of the game that I think he cares about the most. That's where he puts in that effort and energy.
Outside Warren. 56 seconds left in the first quarter. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Robinson.
And they've done a nice job controlling the defensive backboard to start this game.
Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points, so 1 free throw coming up.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
Well, you just watch Levine play, and you can see the athleticism he possesses. Greg just explodes anytime he wants to.
And guys, with Levine, the speed and first step have always been there for him. But you can see the strength he's added to his game since his rookie year whenever he goes at the rim.
Free throw good, Levine. Well, we're now on the back end of what has been, Greg, an incredible career for Chris Paul. Perhaps no longer the undisputed best point guard in the game, but still a top talent.
And Chris Paul might not be the best point guard, but any team could be happy to have him. His efficiency and playmaking aren't going away anytime soon. And even though he's never been an overly athletic player, that aspect of his game still is strong as ever.
Levine kicks to Curry. Out to the right wing for 3. And Chris Paul the bucket on the assist by Curry. Curry's got his 3rd assist on the night.
Yeah, we're seeing some fire.
He beat the buzzer!
Delivery at the buzzer. That is beautifully done.
Oh, that's a miracle. Are you kidding me?
Listen, under duress of the end of the period, you just throw it up and hope.
It's been all about Stephen Curry for the Chicago Bulls. He finishes with 9 points in the quarter. The D is having all sorts of problems with him. We'll get right back to the action when we return. Notching a 50, 40, 90% season is a rare feat indeed. And Steph Curry, one of the few who have done it, talked about that challenge.
Your field goal percentage as a whole is the toughest one. You're going to have some open shots, you're going to have some tough shots, but having that level of consistency and accuracy over the course of 82 games is unbelievably hard.
And consistent excellence certainly is the key. Curry brings it night in and night out.
And as tough as it is to hit those marks, he just seems to make it look easy.
And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And a comfortable margin for the Bulls here, guys.
Well, the offense is clicking, and they seem to have seized the momentum here early on.
Boy, it's been a really pretty thing to watch, executing their game plan to perfection.
On the court right now, second quarter for the Bulls. They've got Levine, Paul out there with Steph Curry. Then there's LaMarcus Aldridge, and it's Drummond in at the center. Pass to Favors. Tipped away. And here we go. Levine heading to the hoop. And Levine throws it down.
Well, few will be able to match up with Levine in the open court. Fast and fluid.
And around a minute gone here in the second quarter.
Watch this.
Schroeder passes to White. Favors with the ball.
Get down, Favors.
Left side, Warren. It's deflected.
Well, with his vertical, Levine sends it back. That is nice.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Paul against Schroeder. And we're now about a minute and a half into the second quarter. White dishes to Schroeder. LaMarcus Aldridge grabs the miss.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly.
Oh, the power on that throwdown.
Wow. Well, one of the things you think about immediately with Zach LaVine is his gifted, incredible athleticism. Shows it off there.
Passes it to Schroeder. It's through for his second basket. He's now 2 for 6.
And this is Schroeder's game, right? Get off the dribble drive with a quick first step. Nice.
Curry passes to Drummond. Kicks it to Levine. Ball against Schroeder. Pass to Aldridge. He dishes it to Curry. And the Bulls, another 3.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. And Doris, you played point guard. What do you like to see from that position?
Well, I'm going to go back to the Showtime Lakers, which was my first team that I adored when I was a kid watching the NBA. And the reality is this, Kevin, I love to see teams play in transition, get out in the open floor. What's better than watching Steph Curry cross half court with a full head of steam and the defender knowing, oh, good God, anything could happen here. He might pull a three.
Right.
He might finish in spectacular fashion off the run, or he might find a teammate for a momentum-building three. Like, get in transition and run, baby.
Brooklyn making some changes. Adebayo is checked in for Mitchell Robinson. Robert Covington comes in for Warren. And Kyle Lowry subbed in for White. Chicago also making some changes. Jonas Valanciunas, he's checked in for Drummond. Kawhi Leonard comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's James Harden in for Steph Curry.
Yo, set it up.
And there's the pass to Favors. Harden against Schroeder. Not that time. Good D by Harden.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
And it's good for 2.
And if you look at this first half, overall, they've just had the better shot selection.
And I think, obviously, we see the execution and the willingness to make the next pass so important.
Lowry finds Adebayo. Brooklyn needs to get off a shot here. Lowry inside the line. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
Well, defenses are content to give up the mid-range, right? It's not the high percentage restricted area or the three. You can see they're prepared to give up that shot.
Dishes to Favors. Schroeder passes to Adebayo. Back to Schroeder. To the middle. Here's Favors. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's on Jonas Valanciunas.
Well, let's remember, this guy is 6'10", 265 pounds of nothing but force. Go to work, Derek Favors.
And one of the best defensive big men in the league, Derek Favors.
You're right, Kevin, because he's got the body to play bully ball, but the lateral quickness to deal with smaller players. When this guy gets down in his stance, he can cover some ground defensively.
Shooting 2.
And that one falls for Favors.
Well, I think, Kevin, most people would say Derek Favors a throwback big man, right? The guy wants to be effective at posting up, but he can shoot the face-up jump shot as well.
The Bulls making a switch here. DeRozan's checked in. No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2. And the Raptors went all in trading for Kawhi Leonard last season, Doris. Great talent surrounding him in Toronto, but this past summer, he decided to move on.
But, Kevin, a championship makes the gamble worthwhile if you were Toronto. For Kawhi, any team he plays on is going to have a chance to win. And now this young man, a champion, starts a new chapter. Well, that's executing an alley-oop if ever I saw one. DeMar DeRozan, he loves these highlight reel plays.
Outside Favors. Back to Schroeder. Gets that one to drop. That's his third field goal in 8 tries.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Harden kicks to DeRozan. Good D by Covington.
Got to credit the defense. They found a way to stop him, and that's never an easy task.
Schroeder looking around. Lowry passes to Schroeder. Back to Lowry. Launches it. Rebound by the Bulls. Leonard's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
He has that confidence rolling, hitting 2 threes in the first, but he hasn't had one since.
It's common to see wing players improve their perimeter shooting in the league, but DeMar DeRozan's most striking growth has been his ball handling and playmaking. He's been dynamic with the ball in his hands.
Two.
And the first one at the line is good. And Greg DeRozan watching a ton of films of guys like Andre Miller and Sam Cassell operating in the pick and roll.
Not only that, Kevin, to strengthen his left hand, he'd use it for daily activities like writing, leaving no stone unturned to become an expert initiator.
DeMar DeRozan hits them both.
Well, I think you know what you're going to get from DeMar DeRozan at the free throw line. Year in and year out, this guy's going to be about 80-85%.
Now the feed to Favors. Good on the bucket.
How good a playmaker are we watching? Always leading, always trying to create for others.
He shot 2 free throws in the game, made 1 and missed 1.
One shot.
And that one falls for Favors. Who are some of the up-and-coming shooting guards in the league that you have noticed have got a very high ceiling?
Well, I'm going to mention 2 guys who I think could be considered combo guards who can play 1 or 2, and who I think their organizations are still trying to figure out their best position. But 2 of the most dominant young guards in the league who are going to be a problem for over a decade, Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell. Both guys can create their own shot. Both can get off the dribble drive. Both could light you up for over 50 a night. Devin and Donovan, 2 names to keep an eye on.
Here's Harden. That's a great dunk.
He's an athletic freak.
Wow.
Yeah, just constantly attacking the paint. Harden does not settle.
Outside Covington. Pass to Adebayo. Now Schroeder from past the arc, and the rejection by Harden.
Yeah, nice, strong finish there. Nearly a 3-point opportunity.
The Nets have made 5 of 8 of their free throw attempts.
Shooting 2.
Free throw good, Adebayo. And Bam Adebayo. He just plays with so much energy when he's on the floor.
Boy, he is ferocious on both ends of the floor. Great energy player who can finish in the paint with the best of them. Very quick on his feet and can cover a lot of ground for a player his size.
Wood, he's checked in for the Nets, and he can't hit the second.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Here's Paul. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. And that's now 11 points for Chris Paul.
Boy, that open look set up by Kawhi Leonard, that's probably the most underrated aspect of his game.
Here's Lowry. Makes it off the glass.
I'll tell you, individually, he is doing all he can. But right now, somebody's got to step in and support this guy.
Paul against Schroeder. Here's DeRozan. It's Adebayo with the rebound. Adebayo's got 5 rebounds tonight. Here's Schroeder. A beautiful reverse layup. Schroeder's got 11 points.
They are just killing them on the interior.
The Bulls leading by 17. He gets a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Kenny Atkinson, who's a native of Long Island, now has his dream job, coaching the Brooklyn Nets. Now, he doesn't need praise or recognition. Instead, he's fueled by the fear of failure. He says, I always feel like I'm one banana peel away from never being in the NBA again. Kevin, he's got his team playing with that same determination.
David, he sure does. Thank you very much.
This is about perseverance and passion. Robert Covington refuses to be denied.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Free throw drops for Covington.
What a terrific story Robert Covington is. Gets undrafted out of college, goes to the G League and becomes an MVP, and now one of the very best defenders in the NBA. Truly an incredible journey.
Nets passing it around. Here's Schroeder. Up again. Great positioning on the putback.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Valanciunas, and it's blocked, and they get it back. Kept alive, and the dunk by Valanciunas.
Well, Jonas Valanciunas has the instincts, the size, and the smarts to go ahead and take advantage of those missed shots and create them into points.
And taken away by Paul. With the teardrop, it's tipped. Outside, Covington. Passes it to Schroeder. He can't get it to go. Great D that time from Leonard. Here's Harden on the wing. No one near him. Count that one. Harden's got 6.
And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter, and now you can see him getting into a rhythm.
Lowry against Harden. And the rejection by Harden. They get it back.
Boy, that's the length of Jonas Valanciunas on the defensive end. Not easy to get a shot over the 7-footer.
Paul passes to Leonard. Count that as his 4th basket of the night. Just 7 shots to get there.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Pass to Wood. He kicks it to Schroeder. A floater. That shot, no good. And the Bulls going the other way now. Earlier, they held a 23-point lead. When this game is done, they'll be off to Miami to take on the Heat. That'll be the 3rd game of this 3-game road trip. And, Greg, when you're discussing and comparing James Harden and what he's done these last few years, you have to do it on a very historic level.
He's going to go down as one of the best to ever play the game. His production is incredible, and the skill level really is groundbreaking. Easily the best off guard in the league.
2 shots.
First free throw is good.
The Nets had to be so judicious and so smart with every move they made because they did not have top draft selections. So you have to use cap space to acquire picks. They had to find sleepers in the draft. They had to find players who were probably undervalued and then develop those players. This is an organization that used every tool at their disposal.
And he makes both free throws. And Doris, the Nets showed they could manufacture a rebuild.
Kevin, what the Nets did was not easy. But to me, it shows you exactly how critical quality front office personnel is to the success of an organization. And the Nets were on point throughout the process.
5 on the clock to end the cold streak. Drops in the tray. White's got 6.
And you have got to honor White on the perimeter. Once he gets comfortable from there, it's going to be bad news for the defense.
Curry kicks to Harden. 1:29 left to play in the first half. Drummond passes to Curry. Rebound, Brooklyn. Here's Warren. Buries it down low. He's got 10.
Well, T.J. Warren's frame and game perfectly suited for a finish on the interior.
Free throw line jump shot. Add basket number 6 to his stat sheet. He's now 6 for 10.
And nice job taking what the defenders gave him. These guys need a gut check right now.
Well, simply stated, simply not enough effort, not enough attention to detail. They've gotten run over this evening.
On the wing to Rosen. They get the rebound. A second chance effort. Robinson with the block. And it goes out of bounds. That went off Robinson. Bulls making a switch here. Levine's checked in. There's 37 seconds left to play here in the half. And Harden with the stuff.
And I just love how aggressive Harden is inside. When he's deep like that, he is ready to finish with authority.
Three-pointer, Lowry. And it's Chicago with the rebound. Drummond's got 4 rebounds in this game.
Well, this has not been a quarter to remember for this guy. He looks completely flustered.
And you talk about the best ball handlers in the league. Don't forget about James Harden.
Here's Warren. 10 points for him. From deep three-point range, and no good on the last second attempt this time. And so it's Chicago with a 19-point advantage heading into the next quarter. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thanks so much. Kawhi, you seem to be so at ease out there. How much is that helping your game?
It's helping me out a lot. Just coming in the game relaxed, just with more intensity. I mean, my teammates start getting me involved on the offensive end. I'm playing great on defense. We just got to keep it up, second half, and not let it up.
Hey, Kawhi, thank you very much for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. The first half was all about Stephen Curry. He had 14 points, 4 assists, and 1 rebound. And Kenny, what did you think about what you saw from Chicago?
Their ability to get into the paint and get to the rim has been deadly, constantly attacking the basket. It was clearly their intention right from the start to pound it inside as much as possible. And I don't see them straying from that strategy in the second half. It's going to be another paint-based attack.
And over to Shaq. What do you think about Brooklyn?
Well, they got a ton of issues to work out. Allow way too high a percentage to be shot against them. Not really showing any energy on defense. No discipline. Look at their faces, Ernie. Do they even want to be here?
That's all for now. Say goodbye to the folks. Thanks
Goodbye,
for joining us. Third quarter, just about ready to begin.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. Curry has been sensational.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
And part of that has to do with his mindset. He has been looking to push the action at every opportunity, and he has been in attack mode all night.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next two quarters are any different from the first two. So far, it has been a runaway. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. So for Brooklyn now, they've got Adebayo, Robert Covington out there with T.J. Warren. Then it's White, and it's Lowry in at the point. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and two shots coming up. It's on Jonas Valanciunas. Doris, you've accomplished so much in your award-winning career. What was your first experience in broadcasting?
Kevin, my first experience was I left coaching, and they put Providence College women's basketball on radio. That was the first ever game I got to call. It was so cool. Tell me yours. What was the very first? Did you study this? How did you get into broadcasting?
I did. Our high school had a radio station, and the first basketball broadcast was underneath the bleachers, looking through popcorn boxes and legs of the people that were standing in the bleachers so that I could see the court from the baseline.
Amazing.
Because that's where the telephone cables were to plug in our equipment. And
wow.
I was 16 years old.
Incredible.
Remember it very well.
Incredible.
Very well. That's also good. So he hits both free throws. The Bulls leading by 19 points. Harden the pass to Valanciunas. There's the dish to DeRozan. He feeds it to Harden. Chalk up two there. Harden's got 16 points.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
Outside Warren. Knocks it loose. Stolen by Harden. Here's the break. Curry with it. Lowry picks him up. And there's Stephen Curry on the assist by Harden. Harden's got 5 assists tonight. And so Lowry will bring it up for Brooklyn. The pass to Warren. Just 5 on the clock. Well-placed jumper from the free throw line. He's got 12.
Well, this guy loves to take advantage of mid-range shots. T.J. Warren in his comfort zone there.
Curry against Lowry. Valanciunas trying to free himself up. Curry can't get it to go.
You know, missed that one, but still a really good start coming off the break. 3 for 4 now.
Pass to Lowry. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Out to White. Steps back and fires. And the rejection by Valanciunas. Leonard inside. White's there. And Leonard gets it to go.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Outside White. Outside Warren. Back to Adebayo. Nice D from Valanciunas.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
That boy, to have someone back there who can erase your mistakes, what a big-time asset defensively.
Pass to Lowry. Adebayo with the ball. Guarded by Curry. Lowry for 3. Rebounded by Valanciunas. Valanciunas has got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one.
Well, trying to find themselves in the second half here. Just 1 for 4 from the field. Can someone in the group get hot? Let's see.
The Bulls shooting their 7th attempt at the foul line in this one.
One shot.
And really, on top of all else Harden does for you at this end, he's a tremendous free throw shooter, around 85% for his career. Clutch.
Bounce pass from Warren. Lowry passes to White. DeRozan with the rebound.
1 for 5 has got to be a frustrating start, and they just don't look sharp right now. Can they find their offensive game?
Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
The very definition of quality transition offense. If it can end at the cup, it's exactly where you want it.
Warren, good.
Well, this is what TJ Warren does best. This guy is a strong offensive player with a good feel for when to take shots.
Here's Curry. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Harden's got his 7th assist here tonight.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Lowry kicks to Covington. Knocked loose. Pass to Warren. Fires the 3. Good for basket number 7 tonight on a not-so-unlucky 13 shots.
Wow, if TJ Warren makes threes with consistency, it will unlock every other aspect of his game, and that's significant, guys.
Just a quick look now at how the point totals have looked over the last few months for him.
And it's really been a nice trend for him over these last several months. He's been steadily improving in terms of his scoring output. That extra production making him more valuable the further we get along in this season.
Free throw good, James Harden. Derek Favors checked in for the Nets. Dennis Schroeder comes in for White. That misses, so he splits the free throws. And the foul on Jonas Valanciunas. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Brooklyn's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Harden against Schroeder. There's the pass to Lowry. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Favors. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. And a chance now to take a look at the schedule for the Chicago Bulls. On Saturday, they'll be facing Kyrie Irving and the Miami Heat. Then on Sunday, they'll be facing Hassan Whiteside and the Boston Celtics. Pass to Harden. Second shot opportunity. He gets it in there. And that's 12 points for Valanciunas.
Kevin, I like the physicality on that play by Jonas Valanciunas. Simply powers through the contact, showing he can give it as well as take it.
Adebayo finds Lowry. Takes a 3. It's hauled in by the Bulls. Valanciunas has got 12 rebounds here tonight. Big time effort.
I think quickness has probably never been more important in the NBA, but you cannot overlook the value of strength. Think about a guy like Kyle Lowry. He's not the biggest, he's not the most explosive, but he's got strength and he's got that bulldog mentality.
And Lowry gets double-teamed. Covington wide open. He fires. The shot's good on the assist by Lowry. Lowry's got 4 assists in the game. Chicago's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. And Kyle Lowry, Doris, never shy about contact.
You're right, Kevin. Never shy on either end, offensively or defensively. Kyle Lowry will get into you. He is the tone setter with his physicality and his effort level.
Robinson's checked in for Bam Adebayo. Then for the Bulls, Drummond's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Zach LaVine comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Paul in for Curry. Outside Leonard. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
Boy, you think back to the quadriceps injury that derailed almost all of the 2018 season for Kawhi Leonard. I'll tell you, he is back to peak form and reminding us that he is elite on both the offensive and defensive ends.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. And you talk about the best two-way player in the NBA. I think a lot of people, Doris, would put Kawhi Leonard at the top of that list.
Let's remember, Kawhi's a former Defensive Player of the Year, averaging over 25 points a game for a season. He doesn't necessarily wow you with his eye-popping athleticism, but the reality is this: Kawhi Leonard is a multi-time champion.
He doesn't get the second one.
How about Kawhi Leonard? How many guys in the history of their career can say, I was an NBA Finals MVP at 22 and then an NBA Finals MVP at 27? Simply incredible. Oh, glides into that move, suspends in the air, LaVine, nice.
Timeout called, the Nets.
And the lack of rim protection, top of the list.
And the question they're going to have to answer to me is it a problem with the scheme or is it a problem with matchups?
Marcus Aldridge is checked in for James Harden. The 2K leaderboard provides us now with this list of last season's assist leaders. Kyle Lowry is second. Third is Chris Paul.
And really 2 terrific distributors. I mean, the first thing you look for in a teammate is the ability to get you the ball, and they both have that down to a T.
Robinson passes to Covington. Tipped away. Kicks to Lowry. Schroeder outside, looking to get it going. He can't get that one. Nice deep from LaVine.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
It's impressive, the level of domination at both ends, and you're seeing the results.
And, Greg, you know this. It's not easy building a lead on the road, but this team has been lights out throughout the game.
Here's Schroeder. That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry. Schroeder's got 13 points.
This guy is a creative offensive talent. Dennis Schroeder can hit defenders with a variety of moves. Go ahead with the floater.
Passes it to Paul. Leonard draws the double. Pass to Aldridge. Shoots over Schroeder. Here's Drummond, and Drummond throws it down.
Pursues the offensive glass with purpose. Drummond knows who he is, and boy, does he attack it.
Lowry against Paul. Here's Schroeder. Takes the 12-footer and hits. Schroeder's got 4 points in the quarter.
Working against size, he's just crafty enough to carve out some wiggle room.
I'll tell you, the analytics crew may not like the mid-range, but sometimes you just got to put it in the basket.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Now Lowry, 14 points for him. Now the pass to Schroeder. Nice D from Aldridge.
Well, it's a case where a guy's trying to make a play, trying to take it up strong, but the defense was ready.
Another shot. Robinson with the block. And they'll keep possession. And it's Drummond missing.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
We call that a great contest. You know this is something he brings to the table, the ability to anchor your defense.
Yep, that one goes in there.
Wow, what an easy look Kyle Lowry creates for his teammates. One of the best setup men in the entire league.
Leonard draws the double. Outside Aldridge. Robinson pulls it in. Robinson's got 4 rebounds in this game. Covington against Levine, and he dunks it home.
Get up, Mr. Covington. That is a very quick riser.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, my cousin LaMarcus Aldridge is not the flashiest player, but he is respected. His former teammate in Portland, C.J. McCollum, said he hasn't changed his game to try and fit the new NBA. He shoots mid-range, scores under the basket, strong as heck. He knows who he is. And Kevin, LaMarcus isn't really my cousin, but his game never goes out of style.
You're right, D.A., and he is still getting it done. Thank you. Pass to Lowry. All sorts of time. Can't hit that one. And it's Chicago the other way.
I'll tell you, it's been a struggle for him in this period, and they're struggling as a result.
Releases from 15. And Drummond kicks to Aldridge. And the rejection by Favors.
I think you want to see more of this from Derek Favors. You love to see him be aggressive and try to send shots back.
Some changes for Brooklyn. Wood, he's checked in for Favors. And it's T.J. Warren in for Robert Covington.
Hey, LaMarcus!
1:37 left to play in the third. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. Shot clock at 5. Leonard fires away from outside. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over.
Well, think about the Nets' Kenny Atkinson, a finalist last season for NBA Coach of the Year. This young coach got a well-deserved contract extension. And what I love is his team competes at a high level every night.
And Brooklyn making a change here. White's checked in. Schroeder passes to Wood. Over Aldridge. Misses off the right iron. And Doris, you think about how hard this Brooklyn team competes. I think they take right after their head coach.
I don't think there's any doubt, Kevin. Coach Atkinson is still willing to get on the court and jump into drills with his players. Let's remember, going back to the early days of his career, he was a player development coach. And before that, yes, he even played. That effort and willingness to break a sweat very much reflected in his group.
The Nets have gone 9 of 13 from the line.
Two shots.
That free throw good from Warren.
It seems to me, guys, that T.J. Warren every year adds one more dimension to his game. We know this. This guy can play on the offensive end.
Both free throws good from Warren.
This is as good as it gets from the charity stripe here in the second.
And it's Paul with the ball for the Chicago Bulls. He dishes it to Leonard. 35 seconds left here in the third quarter. From deep. It's rebounded by Schroeder. Brooklyn's gone 2 of 5 with the three-point shot since coming out of the break. And taken away by Paul. Ahead. Finished off the break. Paul's got 17 now.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at both ends. Steals, fast break buckets, and the other team in scramble mode.
Out left to the wing. Here's White. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. White's got 5 points in the quarter.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it, Greg? If you space the floor well enough, it's almost impossible for the defense to account for everyone.
And so it's Chicago, having no problems at all. Up 29 points heading into the next quarter. This has been a one-sided matchup, and I don't see any signs of it lessening. And we'll be back with you shortly. Here now a chance to show you our assist of the game, and it's presented as always by State Farm.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Well, making the game easy for your teammates, Greg. All about putting them in a position to score. That's pretty.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. So for Chicago right now, Buddy Hield is out there with Murray. Then Zach LaVine. Then there's Andre Drummond. And it's Aldridge in at the 4. Murray against Porter. Some solid defense from Aldridge.
And, you know, you can't impact a shot that close any better than he did on that possession.
Boy, whether he blocks it or simply alters it, the result is pretty much the same.
Selected 9th overall in the 2012 draft, Drummond's carved out a nice NBA career for himself.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And that one misses. Well, you look at the former All-Star Andre Drummond and the way he rebounds, Greg. He might be the best in the league in that department.
I mean, few players in the history of the league can go off for 20-plus rebounds on any given night. Drummond's one of them. Attacks the glass on the offensive end so well. His offensive rebounding, for me, sets him apart.
A lot of people look at that general manager position with the team. I think it grows with some organization, maybe shrinks in importance with others. But by and large, it is more stable than coaching, isn't it? That position of being a GM.
Yeah, and I think, Kevin, if you were to ask coaches, one of the things I've heard sort of thrown out there as an idea is when you list the head coach's record, why not list the GM's record as well? Because the reality is success in the NBA is contingent on so many things. What's your ownership like? What kind of front office personnel? Have they made great decisions? Do you have the best possible coaching comparative to the talent on your roster? So much contributes to winning, Kevin.
Top of the key, Bryant. He kicks it to Beasley. It's Powell on the wing. Clock at 6. Chicago grabs the miss.
Listen, that's a shot he can make, but obviously the defense okay letting him shoot it.
Here's Murray. That one doesn't drop. Good work defensively by Bryant. Passes to Powell. The dunk and the foul, a powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. It's on Zach LaVine.
How about the strength and explosive nature of Norman Powell? This guy excels at absorbing contact.
Some changes for Chicago. DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Drummond, and it's Drew Holiday in for Zach LaVine.
Shooting one.
And Powell, no good on that one. Doris, basketball continues to gain in popularity around the world, doesn't it? It's amazing to me.
It does. Adam Silver, the commissioner, has said, I believe we can be the #1 spot in the world. Obviously, they'd have to overcome the soccer, and that's popularity. But think about this, Kevin, how inclusive a game basketball is. And the love spans across gender, race, ethnicity, religious affiliation. And the best part about the game of basketball is this, Kevin. When you're growing up and trying to get better, you need a ball, you need a hoop, and you need you. And you don't need anything else.
That is so well said.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one.
And in a league that's obsessed with threes and layups, LaMarcus Aldridge defying the trend, really feasting on a steady diet of mid-range jumpers.
And so LaMarcus Aldridge nails them both. And that turnaround jumper of Aldridge's, Greg, just impossible to defend.
Long arms, that high release point. When it's falling, well, we saw him give OKC 56. This man can take over. Making the most of the screen, that's how it's done.
And it's in the perfect spot, Greg. Frees him up to get all the way to the bucket.
Where was the defense? No fighting through the pick, no rotation. My goodness.
And the precise passing of Murray, really moving the ball well around the floor.
Powell against Holiday. Got a piece of it. Powell down low, guarded by Holiday. And he uses the glass on the layup. Powell's got 4 this quarter.
Well, you don't want to see Norman Powell settling for outside looks. Love when he goes to work down deep.
Holiday dishes to Heel. Outside Aldridge. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. 1 shot.
That's good from Aldridge. Doris, when you look at draft eligibility requirements, it is a very fluid topic with a lot of different ways it could go, a lot of moving parts. Where do you stand?
I'll tell you the truth, Kevin. I'm conflicted about this because I believe there is real value to the college experience. There's high-level coaching across the game at the collegiate level, but I also believe that young men who have talent should be able to, when they are eligible, decide when they want to become professionals. So, listen, I'm sort of in the middle. There are legitimate arguments to be had for both sides. What I hope, regardless, is we get the best players in the league, and that's certainly going to happen whenever it happens.
Porter looking it over. Back to Powell. Fires the 3. And the Nets, another 3.
Well, on the catch and shoot, Norman Powell ready to rise and fire.
Check Holiday.
And here's Holiday. Murray outside. Shoots from 12. Poke loose. In transition, here come the Nets. Porter, no luck. Porter against Holiday. In the corner, it's Healed. Lobs it up for Jordan. It's stolen by Bryant. Dishes it to Beasley. Healed against Powell. Pass to Bryant. Beasley against Jordan, and it's blocked by Jordan.
Boy, the wingspan of DeAndre Jordan. This guy sends it back with a message.
The Nets making a switch here. Favors is checked in. And here's Healed. He'll bring it up for the Chicago Bulls. Murray outside. Goes back up. No good that time. Great D that time from Favors. And turnovers have been the issue for him.
You can see the coaches have gotten into him a little bit about this. They've got to do a better job of taking care of the ball.
Drills it from outside. Powell's got a pair of threes here in the fourth quarter for the Nets.
Well, I'm telling you, this guy is doing everything he can to get them where they want to be. He's been on a mission in this period.
On the wing, Holiday. Guarded by Powell. The shot by Holiday, no good. It's Powell on the wing. And the pass to Bryant. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen. Doris, isn't it interesting that we're seeing some teams with more three-point attempts than two-point attempts?
It's incredible, Kevin, that every year over the last decade you see more three-point attempts across all 30 NBA teams. And think about the Houston Rockets. In each of the last 2 years, the Rockets have actually taken more threes than twos. This is the evolution of the game. It is not going anywhere. There's two high-valued shots in the league. Restricted area twos, that means point-blank opportunities at the rim, and three-point shots. And everything else in between seems to be getting lost.
Shooting two.
And that one falls for LaMarcus Aldridge. Both free throws good from Aldridge. Brooklyn's gone 2 for 2 from three-point land to start the fourth quarter. Murray against Beasley. Outside Porter. And it's blocked by Jordan.
This guy has not been a factor at all in this quarter, and it has hurt the team.
Murray, good.
Gotta love whenever Murray goes straight up with the jump shot off the pass. He's so good at reading the defense.
Powell, the pass to Porter. Doris, in basketball, like many sports, you can call some kind of penalty on almost every play. So with that in mind, where do we draw that line?
I would say that most coaches and most players would say as long as there's consistency with officiating, they can adapt to the way the game is being called. As fans, as broadcasters, what we want to see the game remain free-flowing, fluid, pretty, the ability to move and cut and not be impeded in your progress. That's what I want to see.
And we see that most nights.
No doubt.
He's off on the first. He hits the second from the line. Doris, it seems like Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, is one of the most well-liked commissioners in all of sports worldwide. Why do you think that's so?
Well, I think he was amongst the most important members of the staff of his predecessor, David Stern, who obviously oversaw the greatest growth in NBA history. The NBA became a global game. But Adam Silver didn't skip a beat. He is a great listener, a great communicator, and I've said this about the NBA for a very long time. It is a league that is in constant self-evaluation process. It is always looking for ways to improve the league, whether that means organizationally or with the play between the lines, and that's all you can ask for, Kevin.
Second chance points always hurt. Just not enough effort to block out.
No doubt those extra possessions can really add up against you when you do not take care of the defensive glass.
Ball's knocked loose. It's stolen by Hield. Yep, that one goes. Hield's got 4 this quarter.
Defense, for me, just hasn't made the commitment to sprint back in transition, and that's why you see such a huge differential in fast break points.
Outside Porter. Doris, here's something kind of interesting. There's been a lot of talk about moving the draft to after free agency. What would that look like?
Well, I think talent is always going to be at a premium. So I would think if there's a guy that's the absolute definitive #1 pick, he's going #1 regardless of roster construction. But the reality is it might help those teams who maybe if they know who's on the roster, it might change the kind of draft selection they would make. So it's an interesting supposition. We'll see if the NBA moves in that direction.
6 to shoot. Favors against Aldridge. Favors can't get it to go.
No matter what looks they get, they just can't convert to stop this run.
And I think you can start to feel their frustration mounting. With every missed bucket, it becomes more and more desperate.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Beasley kicks to Porter. Now here's Beasley. Knocks it loose. Here's Holiday. And he banks in the layup.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
And that's typical of this guy. He's always reading the situation, reacting quickly, and capitalizing.
Left side, Porter. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That one is on Hield.
Now, Otto Porter is a master at drawing contact on shots just like that.
Hiring college basketball coaches has been kind of hit or miss, Doris. Why do you think that's so?
Well, obviously, coaching in college and coaching in the NBA are drastically different things. As a college coach, you've got to be concerned about the eligibility of your young men. You've got to be recruiting the next crop, even while you're coaching your current group and your current roster. In the NBA, you get to focus exclusively on coaching. You're not talking about recruiting. You're not having to deal with anything other than grown men who have a desire for greatness in the NBA. And I think so much of it doesn't necessarily mean success or failure, whether you come from college or not. Success in the NBA is a multifaceted proposition. So I don't necessarily define it as, oh, this guy came from college, this guy came from the European leagues, this guy has been an NBA assistant. So many things go into it, Kev.
He hits one and misses one, each at the line.
You guys look at a guy like Otto Porter, and it seems like he's coming into his own in this league. He scuffled a bit, certainly, in his first season, but a key piece for this group moving forward.
Brooklyn's gone 2 for 2 from three-point land to start the 4th quarter. The dish to Lowry. Outside Bryant. There's the triple. And Kyle Lowry with the 3.
Well, this is a quality decision maker in Kyle Lowry. Catch and shoot, no problem.
Bounce pass, Holiday. Here's Murray. And DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
Beautiful reverse jam right there.
Use the rim to protect the ball, I think. Lowry passes to Beasley. It's Powell on the wing. Doris, you and I are faced with this a lot, voting for the MVP. Great stats versus winning. Where do you stand on that when you vote for the league MVP?
Well, winning could be the definitive line if I have two candidates who are close. For instance, for me, this last MVP came down to James Harden and Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I took it to the last possible moment. And I could have gone in either direction and been comfortable. Ultimately, I went with Giannis, and the deciding factor came down to he led his team to the best record in the league. It was a difficult vote, but ultimately it's one category which helps tilt me in one direction or another.
And I did too, and what also helped me was just the improvement defensively they had made, and I know Antetokounmpo was a very big part of it.
No, it's a great point. He was a two-way force.
And good on the second, so he makes them both.
Well, one thing there's no question about is that Norman Powell is a gifted athlete. Now it's about rounding out that game, particularly his shooting.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Bulls.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win. A game that not many will soon forget. And on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year. And, you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for James Harden.
Efficient productivity. You love what this guy has given to you on the offensive end.
And I have just been so impressed with the way Jamal Murray has added to his game. Keeps pushing himself every offseason to make the most of his abilities as a player and continues to be a consistent threat from the outside.
Both shots good from the stripe. And with Murray, Greg, you forget how young he is. He entered the NBA right out of his freshman year at Kentucky.
I mean, Murray was taken 7th in his draft and has kind of flown under the radar from that class. But the more you watch him, the more you feel like you're seeing a star in the making.
Now the Bulls with it. They're on an 18-6 run. 54 seconds left in the fourth. Kicks to Holiday. Pass to Jordan. 5 to shoot. From deep three-point range, the Bulls keep it alive. And Drummond is right there.
But the truth is they've had control of this game.
And I couldn't agree more. What makes it that much more impressive, they're doing it on the road.
Passes it to Powell. 27 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Beasley outside. Porter trying to free himself up. No good from Beasley. And so Holiday will bring it up for Chicago. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Chris, big win tonight. What do you think was the biggest factor?
I mean, I don't know. You know, it was just our defense. You know, obviously our offense fed off of it. Guys made open shots, but I think we really locked down defensively, and that's what we're trying to make sure is that we're a defensive team every night.
Well, you were a defensive team tonight, Chris. Thanks for your time. Kevin?
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. So long.